everyone? This is Alfredo with Real Talk, and today I actually have a very interesting entrepreneur here in my studio. We're going to talk about with Reynaldo Herrera. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo están? Buenos días.
Buenos días. Thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you, Alfredo.
Thank you. I know we were like switching the days, but I wanted to get to talk to you. I mean, I wanted to drink today, but you know, we'll do that another time.
Past 5 p.m. not in the morning.
It's too early for that.
Take care of this liver.
No, but hey, I wanted to talk to you because we have been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that are successful, that are part of the industry or any other industry. But in your case, you know, you've been in mortgage for a long time.
21 years, man.
21 years.
Going on 22.
That's how long I've been in the business, about 20 years or so.
Yeah, 22 this June.
In June 22. So, but, you know, with that being said, I mean, we talked a little bit about this right now, but, and I don't want to talk about your mortgage side, and I know it's interesting. We'll get to that. But I know that has been part of what you are now, and you're still doing it.
Correct.
You're still doing mortgages, even though you're doing a lot of other things that we're going to talk about. But first of all, how you started in mortgages, and tell us a little bit about yourself first before we go into that.
So, Reynaldo Herrera, born in L.A., moved to Vegas.
L.A., huh?
Yeah, L.A., moved to Vegas. I'm going on 12 years now, man. I can't believe it. And best decision I made. I put it off for a few years. I was very resistant to it. So, my parents came here. I didn't want them to move to Sin City. They just didn't seem right.
Yeah.
But then, you know, market crashed. I had to restart my life. Came here in 12 years ago. So that's 2013, 14. And, man, made a great life here, man.
Yeah.
Immersed myself in the downtown community, no looking back. I decided to open up a mortgage operation in a repurposed bread factory.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave it that little urban twist, man.
Yeah.
I'm a hip hop head, man. So I always said, you know, I bake bread for homeowners, man. And
that's good.
Wholesome bread factory. So did things my way, man. Didn't go the conventional route.
Yeah.
Was able to create a business that gravitated people towards me. I'm big on, you know, hosting events. I've been doing that all my life since I was 15, throwing raves. So
now let me ask you. I heard this a couple times already from you in the little moment we've been here about submersing yourself in the downtown. Yeah. What does that mean to you? What does that mean?
Well, you know, when I first moved to Vegas, I couldn't find my place, man. I was living in Panorama Towers, and it was too strippy for me. And then I was like, it was just too. Like, I was kind of resisting going to the Strip after a while. You know, I did work in nightlife for a couple of years. It was more like a side hustle while I was doing mortgages, but I was very lucrative actually for a little bit. I had a lot of fun my first 2 years. Before Hakkasan opened, I was printing money, man. So that was a great opportunity. But when I discovered downtown Las Vegas, man, I'm like, dude, this is me. This has been here.
Yeah.
I didn't go to downtown Las Vegas for like 2 years after living here, man.
2 years?
Yeah. I mean, I walked down the Fremont experience one time, but it was not my thing. But then when they told me about the Arts District, I'm like, the Arts District? It was the guys from Pinches Tacos.
Yeah.
Those are like my brothers, man. So they opened up the Container Park location. That was about 11 years ago.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago. And discovered downtown Las Vegas, you know, everything Tony Hsieh, may he rest in peace, everything he was doing. I fell in love with it, man. So I kind of created my own identity there. And just, you know, connected with, you know, the movers and shakers there, you know, from restaurant owners to Trinity Schlottman, the planning commissioner, who's still the planning commissioner. He built about 60% of Fremont. He's one of my good friends. So it's part of my identity downtown. So I immerse myself.
I love it,
and I, you know, living
You've seen it grow.
Seen it grow drastically, and still, I mean, you know, construction. I live in the McNeil Estates in a historical community, so I mean, I couldn't live anywhere else in Vegas. I love my neighborhood. It's simple, it's beautiful, it has a lot of taste and a lot of authenticity.
We love Vegas.
Yeah, so I love Vegas, but yeah, downtown is where my heart's at, man.
That's good. I love downtown.
I wish your studio was in downtown.
I know, hey,
coming out of my comfort zone, man.
Well, you know, we can always look into that. But let me ask you this: so you've been in mortgage now. Other than a mortgage lender, what was your next entrepreneurial experience?
Mortgage and real estate investing, of course, like most of us, you know, or a big percentage of us, you know, into real estate. So I started with the traditional stuff, you know, bought a commercial building, I still have a lot of holdings, a lot of just regular holdings, and then that led up into developing real estate in Oaxaca. So I always knew my heart was always in Mexico. I said I got to once I built the capital and created a, you know, sustainable business that could give me the lifestyle I wanted. Like I started, you know, planting seeds in Mexico. First started with tequila, then buying beach property in Cabo and Oaxaca.
Okay.
And then just realizing that Mexico will experience one of the biggest distributions of wealth, or in the next, probably 20 years. So you and I will get to see a lot of that towards the end of our lives. But Mexico was a new venture for me. What
are you doing in Oaxaca? What are you developing in Oaxaca?
So in Oaxaca, I'm part of Oaxaca Land Company.
Okay.
We buy massive pieces of beach view lots. We subdivide them and we sell the lots, and we have a construction company as well. So just working, I leave this Wednesday. That's why we couldn't do Thursday. So I'm going to go do a little bit of tequila business on Thursday in Guadalajara. Then I go to Oaxaca for the weekend, then I'm back.
What made you pick Oaxaca?
My godfather, man, who's a very important person in my life, who I would love to talk to about as Ren. I mean, here we have such a cool story, man. The day I was born, Javier, and I'll get back to Oaxaca, but Javier, the day I was born, he was smuggled into the United States illegally in a trunk on April 7, 1978, when I was born. So his first stop was me at the hospital.
Oh, wow.
So my mom offered him to be my godfather. He said, yeah, and then he's always been a big mentor in my life, but Oaxaca was because of him. He bought a property there. 2020 came along. Entrepreneurs in Mexico didn't have the same luxuries and opportunities financially that everybody did in the States, getting all these grants and loans. So he called me up and he was like, hey, man, you want to buy this house off of me? And I go, well, hey, how about we, do fractional equity? I'll buy a fraction of it off of you. Best investment I made, man. So that's my investment easily has 3x since. That, so.
Let me ask you this, and going back to you starting to invest in other things other than your business, right? You're making money. I mean, at this time you're making money back when you started. And did you have a rule as far as what do you do with your money to start investing, or was it in your head always to do other businesses? But how did you get to, all right, now I'm going to start saving money? What was your rule about money?
My rule, my rule was, make sure you enjoy life.
Okay.
So I would enjoy life. I have friends that don't enjoy life, and their assets are super thick, and and they're probably gonna enjoy life later on in life. But I just wanted to have that balance, man. So I would probably say about 50% of my income would go towards investing.
Okay.
Then the other part would go a little bit of savings, but I was more of an investor than a saver for sure, man. I'm a high risk guy for sure.
Okay. So you're high risk.
So I would go with my gut feeling, man. I wouldn't go do my research. My first thing in investing in anything, I have to like it, brother. I gotta like it. Yeah, I did buy Tesla stock, and I do like Elon Musk. It's a little bit questionable now, but I was a big fan of him, so did a little bit of the crypto stuff.
Yeah,
I wish I would have got into it like everybody else. Wish they would have got into it.
Are you scared of losing money?
That's a good question, and we could base that on trust, man.
Okay.
Like I've been burnt by people, but that still doesn't make me fear other people in the future. I still take the risk. So I think we all are deep in our heart, but I'm willing to take the risk. And I've lost money. I've lost, a lot of money, but I've also made a lot, and I've become immune to it, man. I think you'll know this as much as I do. When we're first in this industry, we lose a client for X reason. And it's when you're 2-3 years deep into this, it hurts. But after a while, man, you develop thick skin, but it's because it's compensated with more business.
Yeah. But I've heard that with several people that we talked to and we've had in that seat is that one of the common things I hear is that, eventually we're going to lose money. We're going to lose money, but you have to see at the other returns that we're getting, right? So there's a bigger return than that you lose, right?
Correct.
And it's part of investing too, right?
The long-term average, man. You're going to make money as long as you stick with it. Keep on taking risk. Life's not perfect. You're gonna make some bad investments. Yeah.
Now, what about? Tell me the story. I mean, we were talking a little bit about the tequila. You didn't even like tequila.
So that was about 20 years ago. So my good friend Cesar Resendez, he was the publisher for Open Your Eyes magazine. Talk about divinity, right? Like things that are just aligned. So imagine this: I'm fresh out of college. I have a degree in English literature and Chicano studies. I'm 20
Chicano studies, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did my I could have probably I could have I was a psychopath with academics. I was obsessed with learning, man, for about 5 years of my life. But I have a degree in Chicano studies, English literature, and I end up my first mortgage my first one that I stayed at, because I tried a couple, and then it was with a friend from high school, Chris Cruz. Opened up an office in Beverly Hills, So we're like on Wilshire and what street is that? Wilshire and Olympic in West LA. And I'm working there for like 6 months. I'm just bitter, bro. I'm like, damn, I went to UCLA to do a job that a person with a doesn't even have a high school diploma can do. Like, even though I was making money, so I knew the money wasn't making me happy, man. Like, I didn't feel fulfilled. Then I went to work on a Saturday, which was a blessing because I met Caesar, the publisher. Turned out that right next to my office, we were sharing walls with Oya magazine. And we're on the elevator. He had a magazine, and I had been told about the magazine, but I just never went. So I meet the publisher, and right away I go like, "Oh," we start talking. I went to UCLA. He's like, "I went to UCLA." And I have a magazine. I'm like, "Oh, you're the guy with the magazine." I go, "Yeah, I have a degree in English literature and Chicano studies." Like, "Well, why don't you come write for me?" And that's when it all started, bro. So that relationship, man, gave me. Man, I've lived a life, Alfredo, in LA that very few like. I got to watch the Lakers with Jerry Buss and his suite.
Oh yeah.
Party at Bill Maher's house.
That's alive, dude.
Smoke pot with Kevin Costner, Owen Wilson. Like, I was just in that LA circle, man, because of the magazine. So because I'm a very social guy, and I would, be able to, meet good-looking women at the gym and invite them to the parties. I always had access,
Yeah.
It's I don't want to degrade it. I have a daughter, and I love my mother, but it was something Caesar taught me that women were currency. I'm not to any way objectifying women. It's just a fact. You and me and our video guy here can go try to get a comp table at Win.
Of course.
It's not going to happen, but you're three attractive women, you're going to get a comp table. So I learned that formula that women were currency. So I always befriended good-looking women to open up doors for me.
Doors.
And Tequila has done the same thing for me as a mortgage banker. That's a good thing. Like,
tell me about that.
So, dude, like Aaron Taylor, his sister's a lender. I just did an event with Aaron Taylor. I respected his sister. I didn't promote myself as a lender there, but I did meet realtors there because I was able to take Tequila. So Tequila has become a tool to meet people. Or I go to a really cool gym called Project Wellbeing. That it's not the cheapest, man, but the investment I make there is worth every cent. The return on the sphere of influence that I create for that membership. Like, I have parties now, and I have UFC stars showing up at my parties, or I have NFL football players messaging me, "Hey, bro, what tequila should I get?" And so on. Or I traveled to Oaxaca with Dan Ige, a UFC fighter. He liked tequila as well. Gave him a bottle, befriended him. He came to Oaxaca with his wife, and we gave him a weekend. So tequila's done that for me, bro. So I don't want to be the corny lender that's just, "Hey, Alfredo, let's go have coffee and lunch, and I'm going to close your loan on time." And that doesn't work, man. That's a dime a dozen, man. I distinguish myself. I get business from people that love tequila. I get business from people that love fitness, people that are interested in investing. So I've kind of created this identity as the investor lender who loves tequila, man.
And with the tequila, it all started because of your relationship
with Caesar
and the magazine.
And the magazine, yeah. Started. They would send me out to Las Vegas to the bar nightclub convention. And I would I was fascinated by these people making tequila. And then years later, like, we're friends, I'm talking about like 15 years later. Like, I became friends with people that I had met 15 years ago through a convention meeting, or a quick collision, as we call it. Meeting with some person and randomly running into him again 15 years later.
And here you are. So let me ask you, how do you, and this is something I ask most people, like, how do you measure success?
In college, I forget the professor's name, but it was in one of my Chicano Studies economic classes. Very hard class, man, because I didn't understand terms of economy and all that stuff back then. He helped me distinguish that wealth isn't financial, man.
Okay.
He helped me, and I think that was a very instrumental lecture in my personal way of evaluating health. So he made it very clear that health isn't just monetary, that you could be a Scrooge full of money, but you're going to be miserable and you're going to be hated by people if you don't balance things out. So I think success, Alfredo, is just the pursuit of happiness, as cliche as that sounds. There was a point in my life where I was really resistant to the idea of happiness, man. I was like you can't be happy, you're going to feel pain, you're going to get in a car crash, like But I think it's just being happy with what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Okay.
And I would say that happened to me probably, I hated mortgage in my 20s because it was a boring, stale job. But then in my 30s, when I got to do it out of the art gallery that I have in downtown, there became more of a purpose. And then when I realized, dude, I'm really changing lives. If you think about, Alfredo, in our journey, you know, we have the stigma of being, you know, you as a realtor, me as a lender, we just want to make money. We just want to make money, commission. But the reality is, for every dollar you and I have made in this industry, how much have we made for our clients in equity? Clients that couldn't get that loan done at Bank of America, or, you know, the realtor that didn't want to see that client that wanted to buy the 2 house. How many millions of dollars have we made for people collectively as top producers, and, you know, doing the level of business that we do, man.
And you know,
I know I've made millions of money.
No, yeah, and you talk about the way you do things and you enjoy them and you do them for the right reasons, but right. So how did you realize, or when did you realize that health and fitness was part of your happy life?
Yeah, that's actually, man. If I don't work out, brother, I'm not the same, man.
Yeah.
So you hit on the dot. I want to say I had a older cousin that was very influential.
Yeah.
His name was Eliseo. You know, he was a gardener, just typical paisa guy, we'll call him. But you know, but he was actually very fit, man.
Yeah.
So the guy, he was from Colotlan, Jalisco. So he was. I got to see him working out like as a kid, and I would see him eat cans of tuna. So I was interested in that. You know, if you remember that as an adult, you're obviously paying attention to. I like the way he looks. He's muscular.
Yeah.
And he's eating tuna, which isn't the best thing to eat, or the most appealing thing to eat.
Yeah.
And I was realizing, okay.
Or tasteful.
Yeah, exactly. Just dry tuna. It's, you know, with water, like just dry ass tuna, excuse my language. But when he was eating that, I'm like, okay, well, there's cause and effect. You eat that, you're going to look like that. You go to the gym, you're going to look like that. So that kind of was imbued in my psyche as a young kid. And I would say around 15, I started working out. 15, so I started working out maybe 30 plus years ago. And then I always knew in my early 20s, I witnessed a man transform. His name was Mark.
Mm-hmm.
I witnessed him go from a heavy 235-pound fat muscular man to like 160 or 170 pounds lean, like in 6 months. And that always stayed with me. I'm like, I'm going to do exactly what he did. I don't have to be ripped at 20.
Yeah.
I don't have to be ripped. I'm just going to keep working out, but I'm going to turn it on one day. And I would say like at 31, 32, I really started respecting the diet. My kid's mother, we weren't together, but she was competing and she just told me how to eat. Mm-hmm. And I listened to her. And then before you know it, I'm all the years, because I was a chubbier 20-year-old.
Okay.
Lean early 20s, but I got chubbier. But I had always done sit-ups, because I thought sit-ups are going to make you skinny because you're working out your stomach muscle. But what I was really doing was building a core for years, man, so that when I leaned out, man, like, dude, like I have pretty good looking abs, man.
Yeah.
Right now, they're little.
And I don't have to see them. We're good. We're good.
They're a little hidden. No, I wouldn't show them right now. But I have a nice set of abs that are going to be out probably in about 6 weeks to 8 weeks.
Of course,
because I'm back on my diet. But like everybody else, man, I'll take some time off and go drink more than I should, or, you know, eat pizza.
You just work it out.
I've been like maintenance.
Yeah.
I would say about a week ago I started the dialing in. So right now I am actually dialing in. So now I'm back to black coffee, espresso only. Okay. Carb cycling, so I'll eat limited carbs. So I knew at a young age that this is what I was going to be in. Like right now, bro, I'm actually literally, I'm going to be 47, but everything I'm doing today and now, like I'm making the commitment to drink less, even though I'm in the tequila business. I'm making the intention to drink less, because I'm every day I'm thinking of myself as a 50-year-old.
Well, does tequila make you fat?
If you drink half a bottle, it will.
Oh shoot!
And then you got to eat some tacos after, because you.
You're right.
No. Yeah, I think a healthy amount. I mean, I think you could drink tequila every day, but no more than 2 ounces a shot. I think. Got it. Like a glass of wine, bro, or a beer.
So you've met very interesting people throughout your career.
Yes.
Throughout your businesses that you're doing. Who would you say has been the most influential one that you met?
That's a hard one to answer, brother. But I got to say the most impressive. I mean, I met great people, brother. Yeah. And I continued. I mean, that's Caesar, going back to Caesar Resendez. He would tell me when I was like in my late 20s, bro, you just have this gift, man. Yeah. Like no matter where you go, you just have this gift. You connect with people. I've been trying to meet.
He helped you mentally.
Well, I didn't really value the statement. I'm like, dude, I don't get it. You just talk to people. Yeah. You back then it was MySpace. You send messages and you create dialogue.
MySpace.
Yeah. So I wasn't like, but it wasn't until I started managing people in mortgage where I realized, dude, I guess I do have a gift because these people don't see how easy it is to meet people. So I think just was like one step at a time, man. So interesting people, man. Like, I mean, I'm blessed, man. I mean,
so who would you want to meet?
Oh, okay, but who I would say one of my friends that I'm probably my buddy Edwin, man. He's a self-made Colombian. He has a great story, multimillionaire. He's going through a divorce. You know, God bless him. He married John Mellencamp's daughter, but that's so he's living he's like from all my immigrant friends, bro. Born in Bogota, Colombia. He has the coolest story, bro. He had his first Lambo by 25. He was the Rock's neighbor in Woodland Hills, like when he was like 25, and all self-made, all from door knocking, bro. Alarms.
Oh wow.
So he was able to start as a door knocker in the alarm business. I think the company was called Monotronics at the time. Then ADP bought them out, and he just had these big contracts, and he just ran an operation of door knockers, all people undocumented, just making money. Wow. And I mean, he made a lot of money, man, and he's still crushing. I think he's just one of those mavericks, knows how to make money.
Oh yeah.
Man.
And who are you looking up to now? Like, who's somebody that you say, you know what, that's my next level?
Man, I look up to too many people, man. Like, I mean, that's a question. Like, morally, I like my buddy Amado, man. I look up to him. Very simple guy, like, let's say, very successful entrepreneur here in Vegas. I just love the love he has for his wife, and I idealize it. I know one day I want to be a married man, and I want to have a wife, and I want to be exactly like he is, man. Because he's just chivalry, dude. He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
We go to dinner, like he walks his wife to the bathroom, brings her back, moves her seat, opens her door. He's like a true gentleman. I love them. I look up to them as a couple. In that aspect, in the real estate game, because let's be specific, I really admire Cameron Zand here in Vegas. Man. Just he's put his story out there, and even my personal understanding of Cameron in the beginning, like I totally judged him, didn't know nothing about him, and then when somebody told me something about him in LA, it was just kind of one of those small world type of scenarios. But when I understood who he was, I'm like, holy crap, this guy's a real deal. In the real estate game, I really have a lot of love and respect for Cameron Zand, just knowing what the odds he defied, the good family man that he is. And then, I would say those two in Vegas specifically.
You read a lot?
Yes, I do.
What would be the best book you recommend?
As a Man Thinketh.
As a Man
Thinketh.
Thinketh.
By James Allen. It's something you can read on a weekend, but it's something you need to read about 20 times because it's a little archaic.
Okay.
It's like, it is modern American literature, but it's still a little British influence. So it's like, I think it was written like in the late 1800s. So it's just everything that we see from Tony Robbins to Grant Cardone to everything. He was like one of the leaders of self-help, man. He was like one of the
self-development.
So James Allen, I actually buy that book every year. I buy about 10 to 20 copies, and I give it away to people that I think could utilize it. It's a quick read, but it's something I read at least once a year because it's very dense.
Well, you're I appreciate you coming here. I mean, you've done a lot of things. You're still doing a lot of things. Yes. You still got time. You still got a lot to go. But what would you give as an advice to close this out? What advice would you give entrepreneurs, people going into the business with everything going on, country-wise,
and I see this
politically?
This is directly to all my non-rep people. And please, man, there's a reason I say, I don't rep. I don't I'm resistant to it because every time I try to get involved with it, it's just too fraternal. It's too territorial. The real agenda that I believe should be isn't really happening. So think abundantly. Think abundantly, man. There is enough business. Don't be insecure about me being around when you're a lender or other realtors being around if you're a realtor or insurance people, man. Be confident in yourself. There's enough business for everyone. Go create business. Go teach people how to plan. And just don't think abundantly, man.
Think abundantly.
That's just think abundantly. There's enough for everybody, man.
So, I say collaborate because I think that's more important. Yeah.
Synergy. That's what I tell realtors. Hey, so people are like, well, hey, my sister's a lender. I go, I try to meet every realtor in this industry because that drive has got offers accepted when I'm on the buying side because they met me and they trust me. Man. It's good to get
build that relationship, right?
I've 10 years actively working hard in Vegas. I've learned, man, you want to meet. That's the advice I give every new lender and every new realtor is just meet as many people as you can in our industry. Yeah. With good intentions and so on. So I love meeting I met Aaron Taylor recently, not because I wanted to get his loans, because I sincerely wanted to meet him. Yeah. And actually at his event, I ended up getting a deal out of because the realtor, there was plenty of realtors there. His sister didn't talk to everybody. So
Yeah.
I try to meet as many people as I can, bro. And I got an escrow out of doing that event, man.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
Likewise,
I appreciate
brother.
your business. I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
I've seen you, I've known of you a long time. We never hang out really. Like,
Yeah, well, we have a couple times.
We have a couple times, but we're not like really hanging out. But I appreciate you being here. I'm sure we'll be more in touch.
You got to come to the next tequila tasting.
Yes, sir, we'll do. So
You'll be
I appreciate you.
my guest of honor.
I'll be
Thank
right
you.
there. So I appreciate you, Reynaldo Herrera.
Where'd I look?
Over here. So we'll see you guys in the next one.
We can make that work.
Show.